My name is Scott, and I am a member of the visual team here at Infor Global Solutions. I would like to welcome you to the second and final video discussing the enhancements made to the material planning window for version 9.0. To coincide with the changes made to the advanced planning window as discussed in part 1 of these videos, the advanced mode child windows have also undergone changes and enhancements. In this video, we will take a look at the enhancements made to the following child windows: the Master Production Schedule dialog, the Copy Demand to MPS dialog, the Planning Forecast dialog, and the new Planning Period Details screen. We will start by taking a look at the Master Production Schedule dialog. The layout of the Master Production Schedule dialog has been updated to display the same data as that shown in the Advanced Planning window. The Supply, Demand, and Projected sections seen in the Advanced Planning window also exist in the Master Production Schedule dialog. The only difference between the layouts of the two windows is that the current MPS row is displayed at the top of the window in the Master Production Schedule dialog instead of in the Projected section in order to make entering production schedules easier. The Master Production Schedule dialog has also been enhanced so that the planning period details displayed are based upon the entire current planning calendar, including all three ranges. In the past, the three ranges listed on the current planning calendar were not utilized in the Master Production Schedule dialog at all, but now they will be. With this change, the planning period shown in the Master Production Schedule dialog will match the planning period shown in the Advanced Planning window. The Calculate Suggested MPS, Show First Day of Period, and Color Preference settings discussed in Part 1 of these videos also apply to the Master Production Schedule dialog in the same manner as they do in the Advanced Planning window. Rounding out the Master Production Schedule dialog enhancements, the Period Want Date functionality has been enhanced. When a value is entered into the Period Want Day field, that value is now saved to a new planning window preference called Period Want Day. This allows the value entered to be persistent and prevents the need of having to enter the value each time the dialog is open. Next, we will take a look at the Copy Demand to MPS dialog. Just like the Master Production Schedule dialog, Period Want Day of the Copy Demand MPS dialog has been enhanced to read and write to the Period Want Date preference setting so that any value entered is saved and does not need to be re-entered each time the dialog is opened. The Suggested MPS option that was previously always available for selection in the Demand Type dropdown is now only available if the Calculate Suggested MPS setting is turned on. Otherwise, it will not be shown in the dropdown. When Calculate Suggested MPS is turned on, the calculation for Suggested MPS will now match the calculation used in the Advanced Planning window. Now let's move on to the Planning Forecast dialog. The Planning Forecast dialog has been enhanced so that the planning periods displayed are based upon the entire current planning calendar, including all three ranges. In the past, the three ranges listed on the current planning calendar were not utilized in the Planning Forecast dialog, but now they will be. With this change, the planning periods shown in the Planning Forecast dialog, the Master Production Schedule dialog, and the Advanced Planning window will all match. In addition, the Show First Day of Period view setting covered in the first video also applies to the Planning Forecast dialog. The last enhancement we are going to cover is the addition of the new Planning Period Details screen that was added to the Advanced Planning window. The Planning Period Details screen allows you to drill into a selected planning period and view a daily breakdown of the supply and demand for the part during that period. The Planning Period Details screen can be opened by selecting a planning period in the Advanced Planning window, and then either clicking the Planning Period Details toolbar button, or by selecting Show Planning Period Details from the Info menu. You can also open the Planning Period Details screen by simply double-clicking on the Planning Period column header. The Planning Period Details header shows summary information for the planning period selected, as well as the starting and ending date for the period. Below the header is the netting grid, showing the planning period broken down into daily buckets. This daily bucketed view allows you to see where in the planning period the various supply and demand quantities fall. Another advantage of this view is that it allows you to see if the inventory level of the part is projected to go negative at any point in the period, so that you can make decisions on what supply is needed and when. The rows displayed in the daily netting grid are largely the same as those displayed in the advanced planning window, and they are split amongst the same three sections of supply, demand, and projected. The only exceptions to this being that the gross forecast row has been replaced with the remaining forecast row, and the suggested MPS and proposed inventory rows are never displayed as their calculations are based on the entire period, not on a single day in a period. The remaining forecast row is used to display how much of the forecasted quantity for the currently selected planning period has not yet been consumed by real demand within the period. This consumption logic allows Visual to calculate a daily projected inventory level. Beneath the daily netting grid is the order details table. When the planning period details screen is opened, or if a new planning period is selected, then this table displays the details for all supply and demand orders due within the selected planning period for the part. If a single day is selected in the netting grid, then only those orders due on that day will be displayed. If a range of days are selected, then only those orders due within that range will be shown. The View menu contains options for sorting the displayed orders by type or by date. When sorting by type, all demand orders are grouped together and displayed first, followed by all supply orders. When sorting by date, all supply and demand orders are intermingled and displayed in ascending date sequence, starting with the earliest dated order. The order details table supports drawback functionality in case more information on the order is needed or if action needs to be taken. The planning period details screen can be left open if desired and can also be moved and resized. You can move between planning periods either by using the arrows in the screen header or by selecting a new period within the main advanced planning window. As you move through the planning period, you will see that the selected planning period in the advanced planning window changes to match the one being viewed in the planning period details screen. Finally, it is also possible to change what part is being viewed without having to close the planning period details screen first. And this concludes my discussion of the enhancements made to the material planning window for Visual 9.0. Thank you.